What's poppin', pimpin'? It's your boy Scotty motherfucking Wilson back with another fabulous episode of vlogging for my sanity. And we back outside walking as we usually do. I was finna stop walking. There's been a lot going on in my head this morning. So, usually when I have a lot going on in my head, I vlog and I come talk to you guys. And sometimes I start talking about other topics because one of the main ways for me to kind of get yourself out of a mental slump is sometimes you genuinely have to talk yourself out of it. But talking myself out of it in my head doesn't always work. Sometimes you got to talk out loud. And you got to say, what's on your chest and how you feel. And, I guess I could do that. Cause I give y'all, I don't know what I be doing for y'all sometimes, but yeah, so it's a lot going on in my head. So currently, I try to make it a general statement because I don't want to specify the situation to muddy up my point. So it's not that I'm not being honest. I'm just trying to, not to offend nobody just in case they feel like getting up in their ass about how I feel. Not that I really care though. So this is the thing. Lately, since I've been back healing and getting myself together and doing, everything that I've been doing, there's a few people who have re-entered or attempted to re-enter my life. And where I'm at with it now is I'm stuck in between trying to take accountability for who I used to be and not dwelling on who I used to be as to not fall into those old habits. But it feels like some people kind of feel the need to harp or move on that in my perspective, because sometimes I be feeling like what I just said and I be wrong. So I don't really be knowing what to do sometimes, which is why I decided to start vlogging, get on Twitch, get on YouTube, do more of my music. Honestly, it's kind of gotten to the point where, as much as I do want more views and the validation in order for me to, I want the views and the validation, not for the validation, but so that I can stop struggling with that thought process, because I want to be confident in how I feel about things. And one of the main reasons why I'm not confident is because I don't feel like I mean anything unless I accomplish something. And the things that I want to accomplish are the things that I set out to do, for me personally. But life often seems to attempt to get in the way. So much so that when I was younger, I used to feel like that the universe was trying to tell me that I shouldn't be an artist because so many things kept getting in the way. But then I decided that I wasn't going to let the universe, people, my girl, whoever, family, parents, cousins, I wasn't going to let nobody mentally stop me. Because physically and spiritually, they absolutely have. They absolutely, just physically and spiritually, the friends, families, girls, all of that shit, they've been whooping my ass. Mentally, they never stopped me. The reason that's wind up being bad is because when I started having those arguments with myself in my head about whether or not I really wanted to do this, I started getting desperate with how I was doing shit. So because I was getting desperate with how I was doing stuff, because I wanted it so bad, I was just doing kind of whatever, and I fucked up friendships, I fucked up my marriage, I fucked up a lot of shit being desperate to get to this goal, because it feels like nobody else cares as hard as I do. And that wasn't the right thing to do. But for me, even looking back on it, like when I separate myself from a lot of people and I really be by myself, I don't regret a lot of stuff that I've been through as hard as I do when I'm around people. When I'm by myself and I look at situations that I've been through, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's like I learn from shit. But then when I be around certain people, it feels like, well, not even certain people. I say people in general sometimes. Because sometimes, like lately, because I've been dropping podcast episodes, and I said that on the last episode that me and my homie did. Like I've been having to stay off the internet because, it's not even just the people that I'm around. Sometimes just people in general. You're just horrible people. And, and it's like sometimes the world will really try to convince you that what you trying to do or just you existing is just bad. And I don't want to live in a world like that. So that's why I created my own little space as far as like my YouTube channel and my Twitch. Like that's why I'm really trying to create my own little space, because I don't like the way people make me feel. And because I don't want to treat people like that, I do want to create the space to where it doesn't feel like that over here, like for me. So that way, when I create my space and my space starts working, it's like, bro, you can't really do that over here. You know what I'm saying? I created this space so you don't do that over here, because I realized a long time ago that shit don't work for me. So for me, it's funny that I even articulated it like that, because honestly, that's kind of how I also done my music shit too. For me, I always it seemed like I almost self-sabotage myself a lot, because when I see how people could be, like it's a lot of stuff that is happening in like real life with certain celebrities, and it's like people that I know in real life where I'm like, I knew that was coming for you. Like I saw that. It's certain people like in certain situations, you know what I'm saying? People that people have asked me to work with, you know what I'm saying? Some people I have worked with, but I'm like, nah, I'm not finna go that far with you. And it's bad enough I even came over here to see what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not finna go that far with you. So for me, I have learned how to try to be more disciplined with that, but at the same time, sometimes it feels a little discouraging. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feel like I said, it just feel like the universe trying to say something sometimes. Like it's trying to tell you like, nah, maybe that ain't the move. But for me, I don't know if I'm stubborn or just passionate, because, I was just telling somebody the other day, for me, you can't tell me you really want to do music if you haven't reached a point in your life where doing music made absolutely no sense and you still wanted to do it. Like it made zero sense. Like, I mean, literally doing it was more detrimental to your life than just going in the other direction. Because I've gotten to that point. Like when Nipsey Hussle said I faced every emotion, I really felt when he said that, because that's an emotion that don't nobody talk about. Like, I feel like people really don't talk about that when you get to the point where, bam, it don't make sense. Stop telling me that, you know what I'm saying, you want it because your homies is around you and you doing this, that, like y'all kicking it, and a few of your niggas is telling you that you dope and you kicking it. No. Don't tell me you got it then. Don't tell me that you got it when all of the homies. Tell me what happens when that same group of homies start falling apart. Show me what you do then. Because that's gonna happen. It happens with everybody. Think about it. Even Black Hippie not even still together, and that wasn't even like a bad thing, but think, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when the shit falls apart? When your girlfriend stop fucking with you, or when you go through that horrible situation with your mans that you thought you would never go through, or when something happens to your, heaven forbid, something happens to your parents, what you gonna do then? Or when your brother die in a dice game, what you gonna do then? When you just popped, you just finally hit the mark, and then your dad passes away, what you gonna do then? Niggas don't really be built for this shit the way they say they do. And for me, like, that's why I almost look at myself in the third person and say there's no way in the world that somebody with this much drive and passion, because only I see what I see when the doors are closed. Only I see what I see when there's nobody but me in the room. And that fire that shouldn't be as big as it is, and as long as it's been going, it's still in me. I can't sit there and look at it and be like, nah, well, maybe we just need to try a different fire. I just can't see that. I can't. Not within myself, I can't. So for me, that's why I struggle with some people in my life, because it's like that same fire and that same passion, it genuinely don't feel like some people around me have. And then I've really tried to like understand that, because it's not everybody's dream. You feel me? Like you can't do that to people. Like sometimes, like it's not their dream, so I can't expect them to love it as much as I do. That's something I had to learn too. But it's just real frustrating, because it's like, okay, matter of fact, I'll be super transparent with you. The reason why it's hard for me to keep a girl, because I need somebody around me who's going to keep my mental health together, so that I can just work without the stress. And what I mean by that is, even when I have a stressful day, I should be able to come to you and be like, and bitch. Like, I should be able to come to you and like bitch and vent and get my shit off, and you be like, okay, you done? Yeah, babe, you trying to tripping. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm tripping, you can let me have my safe space to get it off, and then be like, all right, baby, you tripping. Don't yell at me. Don't fucking snap at me. Don't tell me I'm a bitch because I'm in my feelings about something. Like, I don't need none of that. I just need you to be like, you done? Okay, babe, you tripping. Like, I hear you, but no, it wasn't them niggas. Like, you be doing dumb shit. Like, if I'm doing dumb shit, tell me I'm doing dumb shit, but I don't need you fucking running away or acting like all niggas ain't shit because I have an issue. And that should be pissing me off. It's like females will never let you have a fucking issue. It's like, bro, I swear to God, I was just thinking about this the other day. It really feel like for some women, they believe that femininity is the ability to say and do whatever you want without consequence. Because if I'm telling you that I hear you, I hear you. I will sit there and listen to what a woman's saying, and I'll be like, okay, I hear you, but I need you to stop yelling at me. I hear you, but don't yell at me. Because you yelling at me, making me feel like you talking down to me right now, and it's pissing me off because you lingering on calling me a bitch, and I'm gonna need you to watch your mouth. Because I hear you, but I'm also watching your body language, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and you lingering real close to calling me a bitch. Like, you teetering. Like, some of the shit you saying. So I'm gonna need you to calm the fuck down, because I'm being triggered, and I'm gonna need you to, you know what I'm saying? Or go take a minute, and then we can have this conversation a little bit later. If you this hype, because you can't talk to me like that randomly. Like, this is my thing. Like, the reason, and I don't mean that like in a dictator way. The reason why I don't like people snapping at me randomly and accusing me of things is because, like I told y'all a million times, I've been put on paper. I was on papers for 10 years for something that I didn't do. And it was consecutive. I was on papers twice for something that I didn't do both times. So I've literally had to sit in a cell and not know whether or not I was going to see the light of day, because I didn't know how people felt about me. Not whether or not the due process was going to be done. Not whether or not, you know what I'm saying, justice was going to be served. I didn't know what was going to happen because nobody gave a fuck. At the time, my family wasn't fucking with me before I got locked up. And then when I did get locked up, I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody fucking with me. As far as the niggas that I knew, ain't nobody got no money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm screwed. On top of the fact that I know they set me up. So for me, it's a trigger when women come at me and be like, you did, fam, stop telling me stop coming at me like that. Even if I did do something, don't come at me like that, because I'm going to snap. I'm going to get triggered because I don't like being accused of something I didn't do or unaware of, because it makes me feel like I'm in that cage again. And I know that's PTSD, and I know that's my own issue, and I know that's my problem. But if I'm articulating that to you, then I'm gonna need you to meet me halfway so that we can get to the other side in a more positive way. I don't understand why that's difficult. Why is me explaining that makes me a bitch? Like, that's so weird to me. Women have literally made it seem like me explaining that makes me a bitch. If I tell you I don't like some shit that you doing, what is the back and forth for? Because if you tell me I'm doing something that you don't like, Do you want me to go back and forth with you like a female? No. All right, babe, I got you. Hey, babe, I didn't like the shit you did. All right, I got you. Very simple. Very, very simple. And the crazy part is motherfuckers be acting like, if any people act like it's not that simple with me. Because I've said that to people and they be like, it ain't that simple with you. Well, how so then? Explain it to me, since it's not that simple with me. How am I difficult to where when I lay something out like that, you can't? Then that's when they get to talking in circles. Well, because you be acting like you calm, but you ain't really calm. Wait, what? So because I was listening to you, I was being sarcastic by sitting there listening to you? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, I can read your body language. I can see your face. Because you're pissing me off. And I'm trying to understand what you're saying. By listening to you. But you're not really articulating yourself well. Because why is you coming at me like this? And then you want to see, like, you want to understand my faces. You could ask me about the faces. Or you just ask me. But I don't know. Maybe that's a Capricorn thing. But yeah, if you say some shit that don't make no sense, I'm going to make a face. And you sitting there going off on me. And I'm just like... Because again, I don't like getting accused of shit that I'm not aware of. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, where did this come from? Present your evidence. Like, what are we talking about? Like, am I on the stand? What is happening right now? Because if I'm on the stand, then present your evidence. Like, let's get the due process going if that's what we're doing. And usually you get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you got to go to court. I didn't get no letter in the mail saying, hey, I got to come to this meeting. What are you talking about? We ain't get no letter in the mail. I ain't get no text message say, hey, babe, I need to talk. I got no letter in the mail. And all of a sudden, they just want a nigga to show up to court. They just come in with the robe. As soon as a female come in the room, nigga, what? What happened? Bro, I be triggered, bro. You can't do me like that. And that's why my relationships don't be working. Because I be triggered. And then when I say I'm triggered, I'm being feminine. Because I'm telling you that I'm emotionally intelligent to be aware of my pros and cons. I know exactly what the fuck is wrong with me. I know exactly what makes me do stupid shit. I know exactly what's gonna make me turn left, turn right. I know all of that. So when I explain it to you, now all of a sudden, I'm feminine. But to a certain extent, I guess that makes sense when women call niggas feminine for that, because the only people that really know how to articulate themselves like that and break that shit down like that are females. So the ability for me to do that, I can see why it comes across to you like a female, but you still got me fucked up. Watch who you talking to. Still a grown-ass man. And my thing is, if I tell you to watch who you talking to and you don't get wet, then there's nothing else to talk about. Because most women like a man to dominate. So if I tell you to watch who you talking to and it don't get you wet, you want to fight now, then I'm gone. Because I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you and argue like that shit is normal. Y'all be thinking fighting with people is normal. Wrong. We're not doing that. Hey, how you doing? There's people out here walking and shit now. So, I think I feel better. See, this is why I'm glad that I do this stuff. That's why I'm glad I've created healthy alternatives for the stuff that I do, because what I used to do, that was my other problem now. Like, let me be honest with y'all. My other problem that I used to do is matter of fact, this is actually a problem I think a lot of men do, but they don't want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and just snitch on us. One of the main reasons why we cheat, because I used to be a cheater, used to be a very toxic guy. One of the main reasons why we cheat is because we're very simple-minded, stupid creatures. So if you don't, and women do it too, because sometimes they can be very simple-minded, stupid creatures. We both do it. But if you're not doing something that I want you to do, then I'll go find it somewhere else. That is a super immature and childish way of handling that. That is a super, let me say it again. That is a super immature and childish way of handling that feeling. But that's why most people do that. It's a dumbass excuse, but if you don't understand the reasoning, then you're just gonna keep running into the problem. If you keep running into this problem. If you don't have a problem, then ignore what the fuck I just said. But that's usually what that is. If somebody's cheating on you or feels like they need to cheat on you, then that means you're not fulfilling something that they should be, that they feel like you should be fulfilling. That doesn't mean you have to stay around to put up with that. But at the same time, if you're one of those people like me who has reflected on being cheated on and been like, well, wait a minute, what, if I take my feelings out of it, what could I have done differently to be a better person? You know what I'm saying? I've done shit like that. I've definitely done that. I've been cheating on myself, and I was like, okay, well, what did I do? What was I doing? Some fucked up shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me hear their excuse and really try to take it in. because I don't think people are able to do that. So I tried to do that to try to make myself like a little bit of a better person, because it seems like everybody has went through that and they swear up and down. They, I don't know. It just seems like they won't be understanding when it comes to certain stuff that affects them. So I try to be different. Anyway, but to make it make sense in a world where it don't make sense, but I still have attempted to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, follow me. So the reason why I did that is because people often ask that question, and I never like the response. Every time I see somebody ask that question, I never like the response, because I don't feel like people are being honest. And for me, when I was asked, well, why did you cheat? Well, it's because when I come home, I'm miserable. You know what I'm saying? When I come to my relationship, I'm miserable, and I don't like that. And because I'm a selfish, self-centered person, instead of saying, hey, I don't like that, and leaving, I'll say, hey, I don't like that, and then get bitter about the fact that I wasn't responded to, and then try to exert the same bitterness back to that person. Because that's usually what happens when you cheat. You get bitter about whatever it is you said or should have said or did or didn't do or whatever the case may be, and then you go exert that bitterness onto the other person when you should have just taken that same energy and done something positive. Or you could have just left. Like, you didn't have to if the person's not listening to what you're saying, and you keep telling them, hey, I don't like this, hey, I don't like that, then you could just leave. Like, you don't have to necessarily put up with that. And trust you me, I understand how hard that is, because just trust me, I understand how hard that is. But at the same time, that's still what's healthy. That's what's healthier for you. That's just what's better for you, because people are gonna be who they are. People gonna be who they are. If people only want different, then they'll do different. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, well, the people don't have the ability to change, because I feel like I had the ability to change. I don't want to be who I used to be. I don't want to be a piece of shit no more. So for me to not be a piece of shit no more, I have to acknowledge when I was a piece of shit, and I also have to face the things that made me a piece of shit. I have to have like real conversations with myself. And in order for me to do that, I have to say, why did you do that? And if I'm being honest with myself, that's what it was. It was an insecurity. It was, fam, I'm trying to tell you that I don't feel like I'm that nigga. Like, I'm telling you that you don't care about how I'm doing or my passion or none of this, that, and the other. And then you just sitting there doing nothing. So then when this motherfucking little hussy come along and I tell her everything that I do, and her fucking eyes light up like I'm Michael Jackson. Yeah, my dick get hard. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's not, and again, that's still not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That doesn't make it okay. It's just an understanding for myself that I had to do in order for me to fix that problem. Because if I realize that that's what my problem was and that's what the issue is, then I can realize that, oh, it's a validation issue. It don't have nothing to do with me just being a cheater or just me having liking, you know what I'm saying, liking bitches, because of course I love bitches. But why cheat though? Why do it in that manner though, if that's the case? And to me, that's what it was. It wound up being a validation issue. It's like, oh, when you feel like you're not being validated, you go somewhere else to feel validated. And that's a problem. So that's why now when I speak to women, or if I'm attempting to get into a relationship or trying to mend something or whatever the case may be, I say, look, these are my triggers. This is what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? This is what's happening with me. Because if you're not going to make me feel like I'm that, then there's nothing here. I don't have nothing for you, because that's what I'm gonna do for you. Because that be on the other end. Because a lot of females try to use that as an excuse. So all these men want to be catered to. I cater to you too. What are you talking about? We can do it together. Like, I'm not asking you to do something that I'm not willing to do. That'd be my thing. Because they'll be like, oh, they try. You just want women to cater to you. No, I want the same treatment that I'm willing to give. Like, I don't understand why that's confusing. Yeah, I want you to do the same shit you want from me. Like, now, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that I want you to basically be well, I say yes I am. I ain't gonna lie. Yes I am. For me, I am. Because yeah, it'd be certain shit where I'm like, fam, I don't think I should have to ask for that. Because for me, it's nothing that I don't think because I'm built like that, you wouldn't have to do the same thing on the alternative. That's why I'm pissed off. Because it's been times where my girl was working and I wasn't working, and of course dinner is gonna be ready when I get home. Of course the house is gonna be clean. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna do everything that I'm supposed to be doing because that's what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. So when it comes to you, I don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, why do I even have to ask that? Because if it's something that I'm supposed to be doing, you feel like you're not supposed to even have to ask me. I'm a grown ass man. I should know that. Okay. Anywho, my bad. That was my alarm. That was telling me to go home. So I'm done venting to you guys for now. Yeah, I'm going in the crib. It's been a while since I done walked and vented with y'all, so I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all coming out here and walking with me. It's super early in the morning. But you know, I couldn't sleep. I had a lot on my mind. Hoes was getting on my nerves. Cause that shit is annoying. Cause it's like, all right, cause this is my thing with females, bro. If we gonna be hoes, then just say that. So then I could just do me and I'm not tripping. But why do y'all do it to where it's like you always gotta have somebody, your foot on somebody's neck and then they can't do shit? Like, that don't make no sense to me. If you wanna be a hoe, then just say that. Just be honest. Like, if you wanna do you or whatever the case may be, whatever it is, I ain't even saying like sleeping with anybody. If you wanna do whatever it is you wanna do in a relationship, if you wanna be a type of person who don't wanna be bothered all the time, then say that. Cause it be little nuances in relationships that ain't even like, fuck cheating. Let's talk about just the other little stupid ass nuances in relationships that people be doing. Like, it be certain little stupid nuances in relationships where it's like, fam, if you didn't like that, you could have just said that. But no, you will sit there and harbor it and be like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh my God, the dating pool is so ass. When you just suck at communicating. The dating pool isn't trash. You suck at communicating. You didn't say that. Well, at least that'd be the problem that I run into a lot. People just refuse to communicate because they feel like it's them having to like check in. Like, they feel like them having to talk to somebody is kind of like lowering them somehow. When it's like, fam, that's just common courtesy. That's how you know niggas have never made it past like entry level work. Cause there's no way that you've ever had a promotion and you had people under you and you don't get common courtesy. Like, how do you not understand common courtesy? If I'm telling you that we talking and I'm worried about, you know, and I'm genuinely worried about you, why is it so hard to say, hey, babe, I'm doing this, that, and the other? Like, what is wrong with communication? Just like you would at a job. Like, hey, I got to come in, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be late or whatever. Like, my thing is, most people who work a job like that, you would think would be okay with communicating. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We got the reports in, this, that, and the other. Hey, I need to make sure I do this, that, and the other. Like, it's because it's just like common courtesy. That doesn't mean that you didn't do the reports. And nobody said nothing about you doing the reports. Nobody gives a fuck about you doing the reports. But can you let me know when I'm finna get the reports? Like, just let me know. What the fuck is wrong with that? Why is that so bad to let me know when I'm gonna get the reports? We still gotta work. Like, we still gotta make this work. That's why you call it that's why you gotta say, hey, we trying to make this relationship work. That's why people say shit like that. Because you got to make it work. It's work. So, anyway, I'm done ranting. I have gotten my issue off my chest. I'm finna go in here and drink some tea, smoke a little blunt, and edit this content. And I'll see y'all on the other side of 1 million views. Holla.